Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how you can sequence drums on the engine. Last time we looked at sequencing hardware synthesizers. Today we're going to look at sequencing drums, and to do that I'm going to be using my TR8 as the drum machine and of course engine to sequence the drums. So what you're going to want to do first is choose a track on the engine to sequence your drums. I'm going to use track 4. And what you're going to want to do is designate the pattern on this track as a drum type pattern. If you want to know how to do that, check out my previous video. You can see this particular pattern is already designated as a drum type pattern because the button for drum is lit over here. I've got a 16-step pattern, and once you've set up that, what you're going to want to do is make sure that your individual drum sounds are mapped correctly. Now by default, Engine maps a drum pattern to a general MIDI type drum mapping. So if your hardware or software, shall we say, your drum machine, if that conforms to general MIDI, you'll probably find that these individual sounds will already be mapped correctly. In other words, when you choose a drum sound, and to do that it's drum select and choose the drum sound, you might hear that the sounds are already the correct sounds. If they are not the correct sounds, you can choose a new sound by using the drum learn feature. And to do that, so you then first select the type of drum you want, bass drum here, hold in function or pin it, choose drum learn, and now you can set the note number for this particular drum sound. So you can do that by turning knob 1, or you can send some incoming MIDI. You'll see it changing again, or okay, there we go, and you will continue to do that for the rest of the drum sounds. Okay, so my TR8 is already, it is a general MIDI mapping, so all these, or the drums are pretty much right already, and these are what I need for this tutorial. With all of that in place, you are ready to start sequencing some drums. Let's come out of function mode and just hit play, and we've got our pattern running. Choose the first drum sound, bass drum, and input some notes. Okay, so by default the notes go in at like a half velocity. Now you can add an accent to any of these notes in one of two ways. You can double click the key, you can hear the accent, or you can hold in and press the accent button. Let's accent all of them. Nope. Okay, let's accent all of them, and let's move on to another track. So let's get some hi-hats going here. Okay, get some accents again. Okay, that's good, I'm alright with that. And then maybe a snare drum. Okay, maybe a tom. Okay, so we've got a basic pattern running. This is all good. Now, how do you work with that pattern in real time? Well, there are a couple of things. You first got the ability to mute and solo. So to do a mute, you hold in the mute and the drum select, and you can mute individual drum sounds. And you've also got solo. So for a solo, again, it's you hold in the mute drum select, and this time you press function, and now you've soloed that drum sound. Okay, let's bring the rest back in. Okay, what else can we do? We can add rolls, which is a neat function. So on top of that, Nice drum pattern. Now, on top of that, we can add some shuffle, which is what I always like to do with my drum sounds to make them, give them a bit more life. To do shuffle, to add a shuffle, you will hold in the time button, or you can pin it, and use the 1 to 8 on the mini keyboard to add the shuffle. As I progressively add a more heavy shuffle, you'll hear it. Okay. On top of that, you might want to learn how to do rolls. So these are great for live use, adding a roll to the drum sound. Again, you can hold and roll, or just like every other function, you can pin it and you hit one of the drum sounds. You can also accent the roll. Can also latch the roll so that you don't have to hold the key down anymore. So execute the roll, and to latch it, press the function button, and now it will continue to roll until you unlatch it with the function button. And there you have it, the basics of sequencing drums on the engine. Thanks for watching.